I went to Zanzibar, and a young man was taking me through the dungeons, and he showed me there was the school where they taught Africans that they may use them in their labor. There is the church that they touch their spirit, that they may be spiritually confused. And there is the hostel where they treated them that they may use them as labor. I'd never heard such interpretation. That is why when theology came, we were told that in order to be a Christian, you must be John or James or Joel. You cannot be Taiwo, no. That is not a Christian name. Christian name must be John, Joseph. Who said? Whose theology is it? Who said that in order to be a Christian, you must be John? Who said it? That is jaundiced theology. That is racist theology. Because when you want to change a person, you give him your name. Those of you who have watched Roots will know this. Alex Haley's Roots. You capture Kunta Kinte, and in order to dehumanize him, you call him Toby. That is also theology. So, African problem is also colonization. So as we speak now, there are Nigerians here. There are Ghanaians here. There are Congolese, Democratic Republic of Congo, and then there is Congo, named after Ferdinand de Brazza, called Brazzaville. I look forward to the day they change Brazzaville's name. At least they changed Leopoldville into Kinshasa. This is the reality. This is part of the problem. The Democratic Republic of Congo will never know peace because of religion, Roman Catholicism, and colonization. These are the problems bedeviling Africa. And we never say it. King Leopold of the Belgians caused 13 million Congolese to be killed. Twice the number of the Jews that were killed by Adolf Hitler at Holocaust. But we have forgotten. We Africans have a short memory. But the Jews will never allow you to forget. Never, ever. But we Africans have forgotten. Part of the African problem is short memory. Amnesia is part of our problem. And that is why we keep on repeating the same mistakes time and over. Colonization is part of the problem that affects Africa. Because after colonization ended, we have another thing called neo-colonization. And it is alive and well. That thing called neo-colonization is alive and well. And if you doubted whether it's alive and well, I want you to see what is happening in Guinea-Conakry. I want you to see what is happening in Niger. I want you to see what is happening in Burkina Faso. I want you to see what is happening in Chad. And I want you to see the arrogance of the French president when he says, my ambassador shall not leave, my bases shall not be removed. At least yesterday he capitulated. The neo-colonial project is alive and well. Did you hear the voice of the church throughout what is happening in Guinea-Bissau? No, the church is silent. The church is complicit. So when you talk about theology and what it can do, sometimes courtesy of theology, because you want to be good, you don't raise your voices. The last time I checked, John the Baptist's voice was alive and well in the wilderness. Where is the voice of the church amidst all this? Africa's problem is also neo-colonization. From slavery to colonization to neo-colonization, which is an ongoing project. And Ghana's Kwame Nkrumah was right in 1965 when he said, the last stage of colonization is neo-colonization, and is alive and well. And we see it. Today, I tell Africans because of neo-colonization, I'll come to what I think theology can do. Today in Africa, here in Nairobi, Kenya, if you want to buy something from a supermarket, you go to Carrefour, which is French. You want to buy fuel, you go to Total Energies or Rubies, which is French. You want to have your pizza, which is made by Kentucky Fried Chicken, which is American, you have it carried by Glovo, which is Spanish. If you want to have security, you have it by G4S, which is British. If you want your home guarded, is guarded by KK, which is Gardaworld from Quebec. If you want to have chicken, it's Kentucky Fried Chicken. If you want your airports managed, is Swissport from Switzerland. That is the state of Africa. Consuming what we do not produce and producing what we do not consume. Just look at it. That is it. And when you are in that state, you are a slave. When you are in that state, you are dehumanized. When you are in that state, you are not behaving as if you are made in the image of God. If you run across Africa, there is no shortage of organizations which are designed to debilitate Africans through NGOs. USAID. Right now they are busy dropping food in Sudan and Somalia. UKAID, Danida, GIZ. There is no shortage of them, and Kwame was right again. The colonialist comes under different guises, but they kill your spirit to survive. So Africa is bedeviled by all these things. And until the scale falls from our eyes and the wax melts from our ears, we will not go anywhere. So what can you do amidst all these things? What can religion do? What can theological schools do? Can they do anything that is useful? Can they change people's lives? Can they empower people? The Bible can be disempowering, and the Bible can also be empowering. You know, several years ago, when my child was young and wanted to be baptized, I went for preparation. She had not attained the age of majority. She was 1. And my provost at the All Saints Cathedral asked me whether I believed in child baptism. I said I don't. It's not biblical. There is nowhere in the Bible where anybody was baptized as a child. And if it was biblical, Christ would have been baptized as a child. Then he said, why do you bring your child? I said, because I know you people. When my child comes here as an adult, you'll ask her, why were you not baptized? So she got baptized, but I said it has no biblical basis completely. This is man-made. Then they say, but they used to dedicate the children. I say that was Jewish tradition. Christianity has roots in Judaism, but it's not Judaism. So the Bible can be misinterpreted. Another time, I'm invited to speak to politicians here in Kenya. And when they have read, they say that all leadership comes from God. I said, no, it's not true. There's so many crooks in leadership in Africa and elsewhere, they could not possibly be coming from God. Then they said, but it's biblical. I said, the book of Romans was written by Paul in the year 1577 to 1508 AD, 57 AD, 58, when he was going to Rome on trial. And some of the things are not inspired. They were informed by the politics of the day. He was softening the rulers in Rome, but it did not help him. When he arrived there, he was arrested, detained, and he was executed. So it is not true that all these things are inspired. And if you read Rome and the book of Romans historically, you'll see that there are things that are Paul's own opinion. And you who are theologians may debate about
this video, right? But have you heard it from the horse's mouth now? All those atrocities that were being done in Africa today, 90% of it were contributed by the churches. Since the colonization came, since that day, all these atrocities became in existence.